I got a comment under one of my videos just the other day requesting that I do a video on something called grounding. I have to admit I don't know. I had never heard of grounding other than in relation to electrical outlets and that kind of thing. I didn't know what grounding was, and it turns out it's a kind of an alternative health technique. A lot of alternative health techniques are based a lot on folklore and not on hard science. The question is grounding based on that? The basic premise of grounding has to do with maintaining contact with the surface of the earth. There's an electromagnetic energy that flows from the earth through the body that can cause a number of health benefits according to the grounding theory. As I said, the grounding involves maintaining close contact with the ground or earth. This is thought to promote a number of health benefits, including reduced inflammation. The earth has a giant electromagnetic field. Humans also have a bioelectric magnetic field. This is the theory of grounding. Grounding practitioners believe that by connecting our bioelectromagnetic field with that of the earth, we can reduce pain and fatigue and increase our energy as well as our connection with the earth. That all sounds great, doesn't it? Who doesn't want to connect with Mother Earth, right? I mean, a lot of it's being destroyed anyway by the burning of the rainforests and all that, all the pollution, and but we should maintain contact with the earth. I guess it's like holding a person's hand as they're dying, but that was just a little brief editorial. Anyway, much of the research in this area is on newer products that supposedly promote the grounding effects, such as mats, shoes, mattress pads, and skin patches that purport to help people get grounded by connecting them to the earth through conductive material and a cord that plugs into earthing rods or grounding ports. I mean, right away, you read this stuff and it sounds like there's something wrong. It sounds like 18th century snake oil, but the earth definitely gives off electromagnetic energy. So I had to read a little bit more to understand whether this stuff has any merit. I found a 2004 study that tracked people's cortisol levels before and after 8 weeks of sleeping on a conductive mattress pad. It found that their cortisol rhythms balanced out, indicating stress relief and better sleep. And the subjects also fell asleep faster, experienced less anxiety and depression, and felt more energy. Women who had experienced hot flashes noted that the incidence of hot flashes also seemed to decrease. In another 2015 study in the Journal of Sports Medicine, I should point out at this point that almost just about every study on grounding, every so-called science study on grounding, has been done in journals that are not peer-reviewed. They're what they call open access journals. Basically, what this means is that anyone can get an article published in these journals. A lot of times it requires payment. You pay the journals and they publish your articles. It has no scientific peer review. There's nothing to really prove what the authors are contending. It's just like an open thing, and it's not considered. A lot of real actual scientists kind of look down on these they call them predatory journals. And all the research on grounding has been in these so-called predatory journals, which means, again, they take research from anyone if you're willing to pay them a couple of bucks. And even worse, the four men that are known to promote grounding are the authors of every other study that's been done on grounding, including a Dr. Sinatra, not related to Frank, I think he's out of New Jersey. The main, let's say, developer of the theory of grounding, he's not a scientist. He was actually a cable TV repairman. Anyway, in this 2015 study in the Journal of Sports Medicine, researchers randomly assigned 32 men to complete a grounding exercise with either actual grounding equipment, which involved a mat and patches that attach to the skin and connect to a grounding rod or port, or sham equipment. After they all kind of really worked their quadriceps by doing a lot of 200 squats, the researchers found that while all the men were equally sore, those who grounded with the real equipment fared better in some measures linked to less inflammation, speedier recovery, and a stronger immune system. It all sounds pretty good, I have to admit. In discussing the possible mechanisms of grounding, the study's authors wrote, it has been shown that this is them talking, by the way. It has been shown that earthing influences cortisol secretion patterns and sleep quality. It was also shown that earthing affects mineral and electrolyte concentration in blood serum, especially iron, ionized calcium, inorganic phosphorus, sodium, potassium, and magnesium. Renal excretion of both phosphorus and calcium decreased significantly. Earthing affects thyroid function and secretions, impacting almost every physiological process in the body, and it was shown to accelerate immune response following vaccination. Earthing was also shown to greatly affect the function of the autonomic nervous system. That's the system basically that secretes sympathetic and parasympathetic hormones such as epinephrine and norepinephrine. A previous delayed onset muscle soreness study showed an impact on white blood cells, bilirubin, creatine kinase, phosphocreatine, glycerol phosphocholine, phosphorylcholine, and pain. These results suggest that connecting the body to the earth enables free electrons and diurnal electrical rhythms to enter the body. That's one of the basic tenets of grounding, is that it allows free electrons to enter the body, and this is what causes the free electrons are transmitted through the collagen protein found in connective tissue. I mean, it gets a little complicated. The problem is, I hate to say it, but a lot of it's just plain double talk nonsense. The notion that your body needs free electrons like they're like they're some sort of nutrient is kind of silly. In fact, unpaired electrons, known as free radicals, are actually damaging to the body. That's why you take antioxidant nutrients. But continuing on, again, these results suggest that connecting the body to the earth enables free electrons and diurnal electrical rhythms to enter the body, setting the biological clocks for hormones that regulate sleep and activity. It was also suggested that free electrons from the earth neutralize the positively charged free radicals that are the hallmark of chronic inflammation. So they're saying that by supplying these free electrons through the electrical magnetic energy imparted through the body from contact with the earth, a free radical is an unpaired electron. So by supplying these free electrons from the earth, the free electrons combine with the unpaired free radical electron and neutralize them, which would be a health effect, because that's exactly how antioxidants work. So if that was true, there would be some sort of a health effect. Now, by neutralizing the positively charged free radicals that are the hallmark of chronic inflammation. Another possible mechanism of inflammation control is the inflammatory reflex. This neural reflex mechanism regulates innate immune responses and inflammation during tissue injury and pathogen invasion, mainly through the vagus nerve. Since grounding stimulates the parasympathetic branch of the autonomic nervous system, it is possible that vagus nerve-mediated cholinergic stimulation produces a decrease in inflammation. That's kind of a lot of double talk, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't think there's any basis of fact in that last statement. But continuing on, a 2010 study found that grounding reduced delayed onset muscle soreness through reduction of inflammation in trained muscles. The results of this study were confirmed in a 2019 study showing that grounding reduced muscle soreness brought on by eccentric muscle contractions induced by downhill running. Grounding reduces or even prevents the cardinal signs of inflammation following injury: redness, heat, swelling, pain, and loss of function. Rapid resolution of painful chronic inflammation was confirmed in 20 case studies using medical infrared imaging, which is not a really valid medical testing device. Anyway, other studies show that grounding improves sleep and lessens pain that interferes with sleep onset. And one study using grounding during sleep led to the following in one particular woman. She showed a 30% reduction in pain, 70% reduction in pain interfering with sleep, 30% reduction in morning stiffness and soreness. After a month of continuing grounding while sleeping, she reported 80% reduction in pain, no sleep interference, and a 70% reduction in morning stiffness and soreness. By 8 weeks, she reported that her pain was gone. Placebo effect? Who knows? Earthing devices are simple. What are earthing devices? They're simple, conductive items you can use in the comfort of your home to connect to the Earth's energy. They are barefoot substitutes. These products consist of patches, bands, mats, sheets, or mats for the bed, a throw, and plush pad for animals. Bruno, do you want to have a grounding? Well, he's not answering. I guess he's not interested. All products connect to the Earth's energy via the ground port of home office electrical outlets or through the use of a ground rod system. Once connected, all you have to do is have direct skin contact with the products so that you can absorb the Earth's energy. Wow. Okay, now here's the flip side. This is what some other scientists say about this grounding idea. These studies are typical of the kind of worthless studies designed to generate false positives, the kind of in-house studies that companies sometimes use so that they can claim their products are clinically proven. Reading through the individual studies, you can see that they are small pilot or preliminary studies with atrocious methodology. They are little more than documenting placebo effects, subjective findings, and anomaly hunting. What about the antioxidant inflammation effect? The antioxidant inflammation connection is unconvincing. Do free radicals cause inflammation? No. It's probably more accurate to say inflammation causes free radicals. It's the other way around. And to neutralize free radicals, you need antioxidant molecules, not free electrons, just like I said earlier. Arguments in support of earthing are either demonstrably false or so vague as to be meaningless and untestable. The primordial nature energy emanating from the earth is the ultimate anti-inflammatory, ultimate anti-aging medicine. This is again what the proponents say. The Earth's surface is alive with subtly pulsating frequencies. Earth's electrical energy maintains the order of our own bodily frequencies, just as a conductor controls the coherence and cadence of an orchestra. These are comparisons to there are comparisons to a light bulb with a loose connection that flickers. The Greeks knew about it. Antaeus was invented. There was a scene in the movie Hercules, the original Hercules movie was made in 1959. Steve Reeves, Mr. America 1947, Mr. America Universe 1950. He played Hercules. He got in a fight with the son of a god called Antaeus. And every time he kind of beat Antaeus and left him on the ground, he'd walk away. Antaeus would get up, and Hercules' friend recognized this man as Antaeus, and he said, "Hercules, don't let him touch the earth. Every time he touches the earth, the god of earth gives him strength, and he gets stronger." So Steve Reeves lifted him up and threw him over a cliff into the ocean, and that ended the fight. So, this is the basis of proponents of grounding, saying that the Greeks knew about the effects of grounding. In other words, it imparted strength to the body, based on a fable, a Greek fable. The Native Americans honored the connection to the earth. Electrons are like a nutrient. Some of the grounding proponents call it vitamin G. That's not really true. And the proponents of grounding say animals never get sick, which is patently false. You can go to any zoo, or you could go online. You'll see sadly, plenty of animals do get sick, whereas the grounding proponents try and say that animals don't get sick because they maintain closer contact with the earth. So, what's the best way to sum up this grounding idea? I mean, it sounds really great, but I have to say that the evidence for it is really weak. And just like I quoted that scientist, a lot of it's based on placebo effects and subjective findings. I mean, if you're convinced that something's going to make you feel better, I mean, 9 times out of 10 it will, but it's not the actual therapy it's doing it. It's your belief that's causing actual biochemical changes or neural changes in the body that's making you feel better, that you're wrongly attributing to some sort of alternative therapy. Now, I hasten to add, I'm not against all alternative therapies. I actually wish most of them would work, because it's better to go natural any way you look at it than depend on drugs and unnatural therapies. So I am in favor of alternative therapies that work. However, based on my little bit of research that I did for this video on grounding, I would kind of summarize by saying that grounding is more of a placebo effect than anything else. And as far as walking around barefoot to maintain closer contact with the earth and get that bioelectrical energy through your body, I don't think that's a good idea. So, like where I live over here in the city, walking around barefoot, first of all, your feet are going to get extremely filthy in about 10 steps. There's animals defecate and piss all over the street. You're going to be walking in that. There's nails, there's glass. To walk around barefoot in a city is plain stupid. You're going to get far more negative effects than any effects you'll get from any amount of exposure to the bioelectrical energy of the earth. Of course, this is common sense. You don't have to be a scientist to figure this out. You just have to be not extremely stupid. So, again, I mean, seriously, I really wish grounding did work. I mean, it sounds so nice. I mean, maintain contact with Mother Earth, and it gets rid of all the inflammation. Mother Earth will take all the pain out of your body. Well, you know what? Instead of focusing on that, why don't people really focus on what's really important? Climate change, which is going to destroy the earth, the burning and destroying of the rainforests. Now, there are plants in the rainforests, many scientists agree, that could hold the possible cures to some of the worst diseases, including cancer and Alzheimer's disease and many others. I wrote about this about 35 years ago. Destroying the rainforest is the equivalent of being thrown out of the Garden of Eden and the Bible. In other words, mankind is killing themselves. This is the thing to focus on when it comes to the earth, not on these kind of semi-quack therapies like bioelectrical energy going through your collagen and your connective tissue. Bunch of crap, So anyway, that's about it. I speak the truth. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything here. And if you want the total 100% truth, subscribe today to my Applied Metabolics newsletter, where I cover varied topics including nutrition, ergogenic aids, women's health and fitness, hormonal therapy, anti-aging research you can use today, fat loss techniques that really work, supplements, which ones work, which ones don't. I'll save you a ton of money on supplements. I'm not associated with any supplement company. I'm going to tell it to you like it is. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't care what these supplement companies think of me. They could all drop dead as far as I'm concerned, because if they're selling crap, they deserve to go out of business. And I'm going to tell you the truth about the supplements. And there's a lot of other subjects are covered in Applied Metabolics. I cover off-the-road subjects, not the usual crap you see on these so-called science websites where they talk about animal studies which have no application. I'm a little tongue-tied. Application to human physiology. I base all my stuff as evidence-based, the truth, and it includes not only science studies, but also my 58 years of study and empirical evidence, meaning the years I spent in the gym. I'd been, as Arnold Schwarzenegger was talking about me the other day at the Franco Colombo Memorial, he pointed out to a couple of people that Jerry is the guy, not only has written about science and exercise, but he's been there in the trenches himself. He's been in the gym. He's walked the walk. He knows the truth. That's an advantage I have over anyone who's publishing any other digital newsletter. I don't care how many PhDs or MDs they have. They cannot match my many, many years of experience and study. Nobody in this entire industry can match it. So again, subscribe today, www.appliedmetabolics.com. When you subscribe, I'll send you an invitation to join my private Applied Metabolics Facebook page, where every day I post new information on nutrition, exercise science, general health, and medicine. Very interesting stuff, only for current subscribers. I do have an email portal on my Applied Metabolics site where current subscribers can send me short questions related to anything that they read in Applied Metabolics or any other questions that come up, as long as they're short questions that don't require 8-page answers. I'll be happy to answer it, but I only respond to current subscribers, no unsolicited emails. I just don't have time, and I'm not going to, because I appreciate the support of my subscribers, and I'm going to answer their questions first. In fact, I'll only answer their questions. You are welcome to leave comments under these videos, including suggestions for future videos. This video on grounding was based on a suggestion listed under one of the videos. So I do, if it makes sense, and I think a large number of people would be interested, I will do a video based on a suggestion. So that's about it. If you want to have the best friend you'll ever have, if you really want to be grounded, go to your local shelter and adopt a dog. They will keep you grounded. They are the best friends you'll ever have, the most loyal animals. Take care. Thanks for listening.